Just a quick reminder guys, this channel update is best enjoyed with headphones on. With all of this aside, please enjoy the video. Oh, what is everyone's boy Commander 1980 Chief Editor and Disabled Human Reviews here, coming here with a channel update, giving you guys the inside scoop on what's going on with the channel of those long summer months. So, without further ado, let's knuckle down and let's get to it. So, this particular part of the update is probably a very emotional part for me. As you may have known, in 2021, I've started a voluntary job as a teleoperator in the shelter shop on the High Street. Unfortunately, in March there were a dispute between the management and the landlord of the property in which the shop itself was in, led to a forced sale of the property. However, this did mean that the shop I had spent 5 years working in had to shut permanently. So, the majority of the month of March was all hands on deck, finding myself an alternative voluntary position on the High Street to keep myself working. So I've tried for another charity shop, got an interview, but was refused due to the shop floor layout. And in a bizarre twist of fate, I was given a trial shift in the Cancer Research UK shop, and I secured that role. So, the remainder of the time was focused on getting myself settled into my new environment, new co-workers, and so on. Looking back on things right now, my 5-year-long career in shelter had quite a lot of fond memories. So, let's go through one of them. If I were to pick one memory of shelter, which probably gonna stick with me with the rest of my life, would be the week leading up to and the aftermath of the 20th anniversary of my accident in 2004. So instead of me being an emotional wreck, crying in front of all the customers on the shop floor, on the actual day of the anniversary itself, I was actually quite stable emotionally. I still have that mental image of me sitting behind the counter, cup of tea made by my manager who was on duty on that day, Gordon Conway, with a little creature comfort saved from a rat bag, and the shelf beneath the till, given to me a few days before the anniversary itself, ready to hug when things get too emotional. It might not be the exact item I was searching for the most of 2024, but that random act of kindness still had the same emotional support that I needed on that extremely emotional day. I also have the video footage of me performing the Village People YMCA in the karaoke night on the Friday after the anniversary itself, stored on my phone. So on that note, to all the people whom I worked with during the past 5 crazy years, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for being such a pillar of support through the best and worst times. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with you all as I continue working with Cancer Research UK while being on the lookout to paid employment opportunities, which has been the ultimate goal for the long 6 years since I graduated from UWS. So, with the emotional speech out of the way, let's move on to what's going on the review side of the channel. In terms of the review side of the channel, I'm making a pledge to post at least one review a month. Now, obviously, there will be exemptions to this quota, such as game release dates. Now, there will be a little added bonus review here and there, depending on personal circumstances. For example, the urgent rush of planning for, finding, and securing the alternative voluntary role I mentioned earlier. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will try my best to double that quota as and when I can. But it works out for me because it strikes the perfect balance between reducing stress levels, thus keeping myself seizure free for as long as possible, while keeping content of the channel as consistent as I can. Okay guys, now it's high time for me to show off yet another purchase that I have made during yet another Visit to Forgotten Worlds on the outskirts of Kilmarnock about a month back. So, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. Yep, you guessed it. What you see there is a Nintendo 3DS. Released in 2011, this console has fully 3D capabilities without the need for glasses. Now guys, this may seem like a double-edged sword, as taking advantage of this effect requires both eyes, commonly known as binocular vision. Thankfully, the console has a slider to customize the effect, even switched it off altogether. Now guys, I'll be using my Nintendo DS Lite that a friend of mine gave to me when I had my first epileptic seizure in over a year in 2024 as a Game Boy Advance console, as the Nintendo DS revisions that sacrifice GBA compatibility, starting with the DSi. Now guys, admittedly I've been able to soft mod my 3DS console with Luma 9 custom firmware, which allows me to play games that I've transferred to the console's SD card. I can tell you this guys, the process was not as simple as the modding process of my PSP console. With that being said, it's time for an open question. Backwards compatibility has been present in most consoles since the 2000s. The PS2 had full backwards compatibility with PlayStation 1 games, controllers and memory cards. Nintendo seemed to have taken that lead from that playbook when they made the Wii as GameCube games, controllers and memory cards is playable on your Wii console. In terms of the DS family of consoles, however, only the original model DS and the first hardware revision, the DS Lite, had full compatibility with GBA titles. In fact, there are quite a few DS games that unlock certain features when certain GBA games was inserted into the slot, thanks to a little feature that's known as dual slot mode. For example, in Advance Towards Dual Strike, additional content that can be unlocked when previous entries on the series only available for the Game Boy Advance is also inserted into the console. So guys, what is your opinion on backwards compatibility? Should it be the standard for all consoles going forward, especially with the PS6 and Project Helix? As always guys, let me know down in those comments. So, with that out of the way, it's time for a portion of the update which certain people of the DGR community has been waiting for. It is time for Nine to take over what's left of the video to give you guys an update on what's going on the Let's Play side of the channel. Okay Nine, the floor is yours, it's over to you. Hey everyone, it's Nine here with the Let's Play update. Now DGR Plays has been in limbo for quite some time, since the completion of Half-Life Alyx using the NoVR mod, and the fabled sequel, which has been rumored thanks to Dynamines, seems to be a launch title for the Steam Machine. Now, the Steam Machine is Valve's PC console hybrid, which seems to have sent both Sony and Microsoft in states of panic. Codename HLX. Now, HLX seems to be a bit far off due to RAM shortages thanks to AI technology, as various companies seems to be buying up RAM like vultures. So we have two more projects which will hopefully bridge the gap. Now everyone, take a look at this. Okay, here's exactly how it's gonna work. On Friday, the return to the Black Mesa incident, but through the viewpoint of security guard and double agent for the Combine, Barney Calhoun, will begin. So after Blue Shift completed, our next project will be dependent on the situation with HLX. Should the rumors be true and the game is released with no VR requirement, it will be a simple case of going straight to HLX. If not, we'll be tackling the test chambers and puzzles of Portal 2. From James's perspective, that project is going to be a strange one. As he said in this review of the game, the PC version has full controller support, including a legacy stick layout, right out of the box. With that being said, this is pretty much everything we wanted to cover in this channel update, so it's best for us to sign off. This is Tails9 here, all the way from Sonic Prime. The emphasis is on the 9. head of Retro West, DGR Plays, and Sparta Commander 1990 signing out. And if you're watching this on Monday, may the 4th be with you.
The Force will be with you, always.